What's up, everybody? Andrew Mahone here with Tricky Jim at Full Grip Games. Despite the release of Phoebe in Battle Styles, Decidueye is still out here alive and well and performing better than ever thanks to its Deep Forest Camo ability. Decidueye is one of the only viable single prize decks in standard format and also one of the only viable Stage 2 decks in standard format, making it a pretty unique deck to pilot right now. I'm excited to show off the list, so let's get right into it. Previous versions of Decidueye used to play Obstagoon with the Obstruct attack, which prevented all damage done to it by basic Pokemon. But because of the release of Escape Rope in Battle Styles, Obstruct has gotten a lot easier to play around. Modern Decidueye lists pretty much all seem to be focused around Decidueye and walling with its Deep Forest Camo ability. Deep Forest Camo prevents all damage done to this Pokemon by the attacks from your opponent's Pokemon V and Pokemon GX, and pretty much all the best attackers in the Pokemon trading card game right now are either Pokemon V or Pokemon GX, making Decidueye very difficult to knock out, even though it's only got 140 HP. And then Splitting Arrow for 1 grass and 1 colorless energy does 90 damage and spreads 20 damage to 2 of your opponent's benched Pokemon. This is great for setting up knockouts on your opponent's single prize Pokemon. If they happen to play some cards like Blacephalon or Volcanion, you can spread damage with Splitting Arrow and then finish them off when they're in the active for a 90 damage swing. In order to help us set up, we play Snorlax with the Gourmandize ability, which allows you to end your turn by filling your hand to 7 cards. And Snorlax is very easy to search out since we've got 4 copies of Quick Ball and Capture Energy. Capture Energy is fantastic in this deck because not only does it help you to grab your Snorlax, if you start a Rowlet, you can attach Capture Energy, get Snorlax retreat into the Snorlax and use Gourmandize to fill your hand, but you can also search it out with Guzma Hala. And Guzma Hala is a very good supporter to use early on in the game with this deck because not only does it get you Capture Energy to help you get your Pokemon out of the deck, it can also grab you Turffield Stadium, which gets your Decidueye out of the deck and into your hand so that you can easily evolve them into play. We do play 2 copies of Dartrix and 4 Decidueye, as well as 4 Rare Candy to make sure that we can set up as many Decidueye as possible. A lot of times, decks can knock out maybe 1 or 2 Decidueye, but knocking out 4 or even 5 Decidueye becomes quite a chore for almost every deck in the Pokemon TCG right now. Now, something unique about modern Decidueye lists is that they all play the Tag Call engine. Tag Call is a great item card from Cosmic Eclipse that gets you 2 tag team cards from your deck, puts them into your hand. Now, we don't play any tag team Pokemon in this deck, but we do play a bunch of tag team supporters. We play Cynthia and Caitlin, which is great for retrieving relevant supporters from your discard pile and can also draw you 3 cards. Guzma Hala, which is great for setting the deck up, can also grab you your Weakness Guard Energy, which is great against those single prizers in fire decks like Volcanion and Blacephalon. And then we also play Mallow and Lana. Now, Mallow and Lana might seem a little counterintuitive, but it really helps increase the survivability of your Decidueye. It's very common for your Decidueye to take some damage and then you can just heal it off completely with a well-timed Mallow and Lana. 2 copies of Professor's Research, just the best draw card in the game, and Rosa is fantastic in this deck as well because if one of your Pokemon was knocked out during your opponent's last turn, you get to search your deck for a Pokemon, a trainer card, and a basic energy, basically everything that you need to set up a Decidueye. This deck also plays a copy of Phione, which is great for targeting down Pokemon on your opponent's bench. It also keeps you from decking out, which is very important since a lot of our win conditions with Decidueye involve decking the opponent out. And speaking of decking the opponent out, Aipom is awesome for doing just that. Its Yank Out attack for 1 colorless energy allows you to discard random cards from your opponent's hand until they have 5 cards remaining in their hand. So if your opponent is just draw passing and waiting for a big Marnie turn, trying to time you out or something like that, you can wait until their hand is huge and then use Yank Out and discard cards from their hand until they have just 5 remaining. And it can really expedite the pace of the game and get your opponent to really just fold it up. If they're just trying to deck you out in that kind of way, you can Phione indefinitely and just Yank Out to attack your opponent's resources. Decidueye is definitely a lot of fun to play. Of course, there are counters to Decidueye. If your opponent is playing too many single prize Pokemon, things can get ugly pretty quick, but Decidueye has definitely proved itself, released in Darkness Ablaze, and it's still relevant even though many counters have been printed for this card. Check out the Decidueye gameplay ahead and let me know what do you think of Decidueye with the Tag Call engine in the comments below. All right, we got the Snorlax open. That seems very good. And we've got a fantastic opening hand, Guzma and Hala. It's really interesting that the Decidueye deck, you know, is leaning towards this this tag team engine, not to tag team engine, the Tag Call engine, right, to help set up. Seems cool. All right, now this looks like it is going to be the Blacephalon deck. Now that seems a little bit sketchy, but that being said, if I can stream Decidueyes and potentially knock out a couple of Blacephalons, we could be in an okay spot. So, yeah, that could be tough, but we'll see. And then we do have Capture Energy. I can go get another one. Is it an auto loss? Well, it doesn't seem great. And then I probably don't need the Mallow Lana. Weakness Guard and Charm. So we can put that on the bottom of the deck. And then Gorman dies. Weakness Guard and Charm. The Weakness Guard, I mean, because like they could just discard 4 energy and they knock us out. I mean, 4 energy for a Blacephalon to discard isn't a whole lot, right? See, Brandon in the chat is telling me the only auto losses are Arceus Diagon Palkia with Aegislash and Dragapult. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I think Single Striker Shifu doesn't seem like an auto loss. I mean, because like they have to discard how many energy to take 1 knockout. So even though Single Striker Shifu goes through your ability, they need quite a bit in order to take the KO. Okay. I mean, and we could tell that they're going to have to waste a ton of energy to take 6 prizes in this matchup. We don't have any liabilities, which is very nice, right? Very nice. All right, there's the Blacephalon. Okay. I assume we play... Let's see. Take a look at the deck real quick. Tag Call. Another Guzma Hala. We've got another Snorlax. Assuming we play some sort of... No, we don't play any way to retreat those guys. Okay, cool. So the Mew, if I just send that out there to go down, it just goes down. Okay, that's fine. So there's no switch. I was thinking maybe that there would be a U-turn board. No U-turn board. What's up, Dr. Joe, bro? Thanks for the Prime sub. Yeah, so we've got the level balls. Go get those. Dartrix out of the deck. Seems good. And then I can Guzma and Hala. And I actually think placing 3 damage counters on the... I guess I want to get Snorlax, right? I kind of have to get Snorlax. Okay, yeah, we have to do that. I guess I don't have to, right? Definitely want to keep that. We get rid of that. Cool. Get these guys. Nice. So we can get the Capture Energy as well. Seems good. Now, the Mew could actually play a big role in knocking out the Blacephalons, which is really good. Right. Maybe not quite yet. Because I need to draw a few more cards here with Snorlax again. So we're going to do that. I'm going to counter this. and then a retreat into the Snorlax. And I guess, yeah, we want to do this preemptively just in case they do bump my stadium, and then we'll Gormandize. So we'll do that. And it feels like I'm in a very good spot here. This seemed like it would be an auto loss, but I have to say, you know, knowing that they can't welder, like I've got the Decidueye boss this next turn to put 90 damage on this thing. It's very good. I can't also just go up with the Mew and we can place... I don't want to do that necessarily, I don't think. But, I mean, I could. Which could also be good. I guess I am going to have both Decidueye set up. Which means that I could sack the Mew now. So I think that we do want to do this. That seems ideal. And then we've got a research. That's nice. I don't want to just give them the free... switch into Jirachi here, so I'll wait one more turn to Phione. We do have the Decidueye, of course, and then I can go get the other Decidueye within the deck. Get both those guys out. And then I would like to find another energy if I can manage. So I think we'll Cynthia and Caitlin this turn. And I'll probably discard the Rare Candy because they don't actually need it. And we'll get Guzma and Hala back. Never thought I'd say it. We're going to get the Guzma and Hala back. But here we are. Now, I've prized all my other Rowlets, so we're going to have to dig them out. I don't necessarily want to attach the weakness card energy here, but I think it's not necessarily going to matter too much. So I'm just going to put 3 onto the Blacephalon. And then by doing that, we set that Blacephalon up for a KO with Splitting Arrow. And we know that my opponent cannot Welder and Boss in the same turn. So we know that they can't, you know, gust up one of these Decidueye. It's actually kind of nice having the Phione down, just in case they do play their own Escape Rope or Phione or something like that. So I can just toss the Phione up so that my Decidueye doesn't get destroyed. They could Scoop Up Net the Blacephalon, but you got to shoot your shot, right? I mean, it's that or like, you know, Splitting Arrows math is very bad on Blacephalon because you do 20 to set up. You know what I'm saying? So you got to shoot your shot, yeah, and our, you know, we hit that 3-pointer. Let's go. That Blacephalon's going down. Now, I could take the knockout on the Blacephalon this turn, which seems good. Yeah, so I think we Whirlpool Suction. They put up the Jirachi. I go here. Thin the deck again. I know that I have... See, I got Rosa in my hand, so I can, you know, if they take a knockout on the... if they take a knockout on my Decidueye this turn, I can Rosa for the Rod to go get one of my Rowlets back. So that's good. We take that knockout. We did find another Rowlet, which is very good. And at this point, like, what are their options, really? You know? To knock out multiple Decidueye, they have one Blacephalon left. You know, maybe they play Ordinary Rod. They would have to, I think, play Ordinary Rod in order to have a shot. And then the Mew is just fixing my math. It's kind of that, it's that extra attacker I need. Just a nice 1 energy poke to help set up the knockouts. Oh, it might not be Tempo Zard. Yeah. It might just be pure baby Blacephalon. Which would make things more difficult. That's for sure. That would that'd be bad. That'd be real bad. Yep. So we'll see. Maybe they don't find the switch. That'd be great. They got the switch. All right, so they're going to need sack 2 energy from the hand. Take the knockout. Shouldn't be very hard. Oh, yeah. They've got plenty of energy. Now, they are down... oh, they... 2 welders. Then did they put a welder back into the deck somehow? No, they couldn't have done that. Did they only welder twice? I feel like they've welded 3 times. Interesting. Oh, the Mewtwo. There we go. That'd do it. So, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if there's too much we could do about this. And then they can stack another welder to guarantee to use it again next turn. This is bad. I take the knockouts, and then I have to figure out how can I possibly... I could wait for them to get a very big hand, and then I could yank out. Kind of epic. I think we're going to Rosa. And I want a doll. Or I guess I want a rod. And I get a basic energy rod, and then the quick ball. Okay. Gets that. And then we want a basic energy. I can grab grass, and then I want a Pokemon. I can grab, I guess, the Phione, as that is the only thing left in my deck. So, like a rod, do both. Toss these dudes back into the deck. Toss that back into the deck. And quick ball away. Guzma Hala. Get another Rowlet. Grab the Turffield. I don't think I have any more. I have one more Decidueye in my deck. Don't actually want it because I'm probably going to research this next turn. I can set up. They've only got 3 prizes left, huh? I can set up the Blacephalon for KO, so I kind of have to do that. Yeah. And then they got 3 switch internet down. I think just forcing them to continue finding switches is good. So even just using the Phione here is like useful. And then, because even if they go into Jirachi, like we're still forcing them to find switches, right? And they're gonna send that up. It's interesting. And then, I mean, I could always go for an Aipom yank out play. Potentially. If they knock out the Mew, I send up Aipom, potentially yank out next turn. I mean, I could see it. We'll side power. Place those there. We'll see, we'll see. Well, I sent up the Mewtwo. Maybe they have another Scoop Up Net in their hand. Yeah. They want to restack welder again. And they've got the Giant Hearth as well. Okay. I do have 1 Scoop Up Net in my deck. So I could potentially scoop up. But yes, the bench will be open to spit shots unless I get another Mew down. I think we're gonna... I think I may have to yank out and just hit like a ton of good cards. Maybe that's the only... Struggle gloves. Yeah, you know what? Struggle gloves, those could do it. They could. This does not seem very good for me. Yeah, this matchup doesn't seem great. The Blacephalon's really out here. That's for sure. They do not have the switch. Aha. Fantastic. So I guess maybe I'm not going for the yank out then. We'll scoop up this. Rare Candy here. Tag Call. Still want that in the deck. Research. No, I know Dark Carbon. Yeah, I know. Okay. We've got that. So the weakness card. Level Ball. I think I could, no, force them to find another Scoop Up Net. Because they're down, I mean, they're like running out of switches. So we want to force them to find switches every turn. That's good. Okay, so we'll Psi Power. Place that damage there. And then, you know, it's not great. Okay, it's not a great situation for us. Yeah, but we're vibing out here. We got 10 cards left in deck. There's Scoop Up Net number 3. We've got both of their Blacephalons set up now for potential knockouts. They're going in with Cramorant. This seems like something that could lose them the game. That play, yeah, that play seems like a play that could lose them the game. Let's see. Yeah, so we'll put this up. They do have 3 crystals still, that's true. Well, Rosa. Gonna get Decidueye. Gonna get Cynthia Caitlin and Basic Energy. I've only got 6 cards left in my deck. So, do get a Rare Candy into this. And just in case they boss, kind of have to go here. And then pass. And then you know, we're hoping that they don't have boss this turn. They're just passing. Really? You just passing the ball back to me, huh? All right, so I got Cynthia and Caitlin to go get myself a boss, and I've got 1 rod in the deck, but I can put like 4 cards. I can buy 4 turns with that rod, right? Which is pretty good. So we can do that. We can go get the boss. There's the, oh, the Phione I never deck out. Oh, beautiful. I forgot about the Phione. Okay. That's pretty sweet. We like that. Put that there. It will pass. And then I've got knockout on both their Blacephalons. They've only got 8 cards left in the deck. They clearly don't have access to boss's orders, or else they would have played it. And I've got a boss's orders now in my hand to target down one of their Blacephalon. Seems very good. And I've also got enough energy on board And they're still not making plays. I've only got one card left in my deck, but that's fine. We can just... I think which one I'd rather draw into first. I'm not sure that it really matters. We'll dull first. And then bring up the Decidueye. And Whirlpool Suction. I mean, they have a switch left in the deck. And they have Fire Crystal. Like, they have energy access. So, you know, I'm not going to pretend like they don't have access to the energy. Because they do have access to the energy. So the hope is that they can't set up another Blacephalon after this, but they just should be able to. Because they only have one welder in the discard. Actually, they have 3. Okay. But I think if they just have access to a 4th Blacephalon. Now, a lot of baby Blacephalon lists were only playing 3, but they were playing Rod. So there could be a scenario where, you know, they set up a last Blacephalon out of nowhere, but maybe the Rod is prized? Not exactly sure. See what it do though. They either got it or they don't. So not worth using Rosa. And there's no Pokemon in this discard pile that I want to take out. They only got 1 prize left. Yes. So we'll just swing. It's not time to yank out yet. Definitely not. Probably never time to yank out. Because I have to just hope that they don't have it. But if they can quick ball for the last Blacephalon. Oh, they failed it. Yeah? You ain't got it? Bruce? Say it ain't so, Bruce. Where's your last Blacephalon or your Ordinary Rod? Is it prized? You hate to see a Fire Energy go on to the Oricorio GX. You really hate to see that. Oh yeah, they're looking like they're not in a great spot here. I've got 1 card left in deck. I need to make sure that I don't deck out. There's another Rowlet. Strafe GX? No, I don't think we have to worry about a Strafe GX. That is looking like this should be it. They don't appear to have another attacker. And now they just have to hang out while I just splitting arrow a bunch. I don't really think that they're going to bench any other Pokemon. They have to retreat the Cramorant. It's only got 90 hit points left. And it's looking like this is checkmate. An unlikely win. I was not thinking that this would be one that we were able to pull out, but sure enough. It looks like it's just a Cramorant VMAX heavy list. So maybe like 3 Blacephalon, 2 Cramorant VMAX or something like that. All right. Whirlpool Suction again. It's fine. Slow and steady wins the race here. And we'll just splitting arrow. And now both of their Pokemon V in play. are within KO range. I do not have any supporters left in my deck. The Phione is the only thing that has saved me from decking out. But now that they've benched another Jirachi, it's cool. I can do this all day. They will deck out before I do. It appears as if they do not have Ordinary Rod as an option. So we're just going to keep sending that Phione to the bottom of the deck. He scoops. We score. Let's go, chat. GG's. You know, I mean, Decidueye is a deck that I have not given a lot of time at all. And I think that this deck is pretty good right now because nobody takes it seriously, including myself. And Decidueye is just one of those decks where if nobody takes it seriously, it's really, really good. And I definitely refuse to take it seriously. Even with like a Phoebe, a single Phoebe doesn't do it, right? This deck is just nothing but Decidueyes. Your opponent really has got to just tech for you specifically in order to win. And a lot of times your opponent will just kind of see what you got going on, and they realize that they don't have an answer to what you're doing here, and they go ahead and just scoop it up. So that is probably what we're hoping for here. Now, tag call. I could tag call for Cynthia and Caitlin. 3, 4, 5. We get 2 cards. That's fine. We'll just Gorman dice. And we got a Cynthia and Caitlin. That's fine. Now we're playing against a Mewtwo and Mew deck. Unless this deck has a Greninja GX in it, assuming that this is the Psychic Box Mewtwo and Mew, then it should be pretty much a layup for us. They can discard all of my special energy with Crushing Punch, so that's like mildly annoying. But outside of that, I will probably just be able to deck them out. But a lot of these lists that we're seeing for Mewtwo and Mew are not playing any out to Decidueye. I got a question in the chat. How does this deck run without Tag Call and Rosa post-rotation? Fine. I mean, the Tag Call engine is cool in this deck, but it's by no means completely necessary, right? All right, so it looks like they're going for the Horror House into Poltergeist play. Obviously, they will knock out my Rowlet, but, like, that's fine. Not really concerned about that. That's just one Rowlet, baby. And you're going to have to knock out, like, 5 or 6 Decidueye in order to take the win. Now, what they want to do is they probably want to Poltergeist and knock out my Rowlet. And then next turn, I set up a couple of Rowlets. And then they Marnie me and start to use Night Watch and hope that I never draw out of it. That would be their game plan. However, if I can just find a Rosa at any point, then I will be able to set up a Decidueye. Now, we did get a Quick Ball there, which is very good. Definitely like that. Probably want to... Let's see. I think we want to Cynthia and Caitlin first, but I'm going to Ordinary Rod. And I think I'm going to Ordinary Rod the Rowlet back into the deck because I want to have a higher chance of drawing into one because I want multiple Rowlet. And then we're going to Cynthia and Caitlin. And we're going to discard the basic grass and then draw. And then we got one Rowlet here. I can Level Ball as well and get myself another Rowlet. And then I can get another Snorlax too. Might actually be good. Because if I get another Snorlax, it gives me multiple turns to force them to have the Marnie to disrupt my hand, which seems good. I probably am not going to want to draw into the Ordinary Rod off of my draw here, so we'll put that down and then just Gormandize for as many as we can. And then we just see what my opponent does. I imagine that they're going to lean on that Night Watch to try and disrupt my hand, get me down to a small hand. That's why we got out the 2 Snorlax. I can afford to give up this many prizes. That's totally fine. And it gets to the point, and there's the Marnie that we were expecting. It gets to the point where they have so many Horror Psychic Energies on their Pokemon, though, that I don't really try to attack, right? Because I will just simply knock out my own, I'll knock out my own Decidueye. But, all right, we see we've got another Snorlax, so we're going to force them to have it again. Now Guzma and Hala will counter the stadium, right? Got a Big Charm. Unfortunately, don't have everything I need, but I can counter that. Gonna Guzma and Hala. Get rid of those. And then we can get Capture Energy to get another basic Pokemon out. I don't have any tools left in the deck. And I only have 1 Rosa in the deck, which is sus. That is definitely suspect. All right. We'll go there and Gormandize. And then we're forcing them to have another Marnie, which I imagine that they'll probably be able to do. They do play a full play set of Marnie in this deck. I don't just play 1 Rosa. We just have many prized. I think there are three Rosa in this list. We have prized a bunch. Yes, there's just 1 Rosa in the deck at this time. They've got 4 energy on the Mewtwo and Mew now. Plenty of energy. And hopefully they don't hit my Tag Call. Hate to see it. Aw, things are about to get a little bit rough out here. Things are going to get a little bit rocky, chat. Oh, geez. And we're in top deck mode. Okay. Have to evolve. Have to play the Mallow and Lana. And pass. And then they do have Boss and Night Watch. So at this point, I have no hand. It just needs to be Rosa off the top. Or else we just get... Let's go! Let's go! Yeah, you're done, bud. You're done. You're livid. You're so mad, bro. You're so mad. Oh, yeah, man. Oh, yeah, bro. You're so sick right now. Oh, you're so sick, dude. Oh, absolutely insane. Couldn't have been timed better. Couldn't have been timed better. There's no reason to attack into my opponent. No, we're going to deck them out. I think. I don't know. We'll see what they do. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to deck. Because I play Phione, right? So I'll never deck out. Right? And they will just deck out at this point. And I have more time on the clock than they do. If I swing in, they could attach enough Horror Psychic Energies to where eventually I get knocked out. But at this rate, I guarantee the win if I just don't attack. Right? So, what do I lose from attacking? I guess I'm only taking 20 damage a turn right now. right? But it's just like, what's the point? Like, because I have checkmate, right? I have checkmate. If I don't attack, I have checkmate. So, like, oh, Hood could block Phione. That's true. Hood could block Phione. So, if Hood blocks Phione... I do have Boss, and I could Phione at least a couple of times. Yes, they have the Hood now. So, do I have to attack? That's a valid question. All right, I've got a Mallow and Lana. Honestly, let's get it. I'm gonna Cynthia and Caitlin for my Mallow and Lana back. We'll get into it. Sure. All right, let's start swinging. We'll put some pressure on. The reason we're not attacking is because I eat 40 damage a time, right? Which is not great. Not really trying to eat 40 damage a time. I do have Aipom in my deck, but I only have, you know, 2 prizes remaining, so kind of tough. What if they play Greninja? I think if they play Greninja, they'd be going for it already, right? If they played Greninja, they would have searched it out. Thank you so much, Huppy, for that sub. Appreciate you. All right, so they're just attaching more Horror Psychic Energy. So I'm going to eat 60 this time, which is fine. I can attach here and just Splitting Arrow. That's fine. And then I can Mallow and Lana this next turn. And the Hood helps them because I can't Phione to prevent myself from decking out. So we'll swing. You know, arguably I could have gone a little bit more aggressively, but like they play Mallow and Lana's too. You see what I'm saying? So if we go for deck out, I think we're like more guaranteed to win if I just go for deck out. Can they cross divide? No, they've already GX'd, so they cannot do that. They cannot Reshiram and Charizard. They don't even have the energy that they need to Double Blaze GX in the deck. It's not a thing. Now, if they draw out more cards than me, I'll just start passing again. Yeah. I can use Doll, but you have to switch into the Doll, right? And it's like I don't play any switch in this deck, so I have to retreat into the Doll. So the Doll, even though the Doll will work for like a turn, you know. But now that they've DAA changed, I just start passing again, right? Because now their deck count is lower than mine. So now I just start passing. And if they want to Marnie, then they Marnie, right? So exactly. So we just put enough pressure on to force them to make some plays. But now that they're night watching me, now they have guaranteed that I will never deck out, right? So now I just pass. Like now we just pass it up. So they either have an answer to my Decidueye or they don't. One of the only answers they could possibly have, you know, would be Pale Moon GX, but they've already GX'd. So there's no reason to play any cards from my deck right now. They've only got 13 cards left in deck to my 20, and we just sit here and we pass. They might not even play Greninja. There's really no point in me swinging in and putting any more damage on myself. At this point, they've made it pretty evident that they don't have an answer. If they do have an answer, then they're playing very funny. They're playing very funny about it if they do have an answer. And most Mewtwo decks are not playing a Greninja, right? So it looks like they're giving me the well played. They understand that I know that I have checkmate on board and I'm not going to attack. I'm certainly not going to knock out my own Decidueye with their Horror Psychic energies, right? They're giving me an opportunity to misplay, which is respectable, right? They're going to give me an opportunity to misplay. They want to see if I'll throw, which makes sense, right? Because as the Decidueye player, I could certainly have thrown that match, right? I could have continued attacking into the Mewtwo and things like that, but ultimately, We knew that our win con was probably going to be deck out, which is why I was kind of leaning into the passing, right? Because you know with the Horror Psychic Energy, they can really rack up some damage. You guys ready for a match of the century? Lucario Melmetal versus Decidueye. This will be fascinating. Yes, this will be fascinating. Indeed. Strap in, chat. This is going to be one for the ages. Yes. I doubt that my opponent is playing it out to my Decidueye, but we will see. Okay, here's Dartrix. Looks good. Pass. And then I'm just going to evolve into Decidueye. And pass. That's what we're going to... It's just what we're going to do. Yes, deck out is our win con. I know I cannot do any damage to this thing. So that's why I'm not playing any cards. We just got to make sure that we pass as fast as possible, right? Because the timer is not our friend here. So we need our opponent to time out before we do. Now, the real problem is, what if I prize my Phione? Okay? That'd be bad. Okay? That'd be real bad. We wouldn't like that. Do you think my opponent plays Aegislash-V? Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Broken deck, bro. Broken deck, bro. GG's. GG's, Lucario Melmetal. And that's it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like the video, sub to the channel, ring that bell, and of course, check out the Twitch stream, twitch.tv/TrickyJim, where I stream live Pokemon trading card game content every single weekday. We've got a super welcoming community there, and we'd love you to be a part of it. Y'all have a busted day. Peace.